But all these efforts are for the #1 objective of bringing an immediate ceasefire and stopping this war of genocide against our people in the Gaza Strip, to stop it immediately, to provide the Palestinian people, especially in the Gaza Strip, with humanitarian assistance to the scale they need, and to fight against the crime against humanity of forced transfer, and to begin the process of the rebuilding of the Gaza Strip, and also to intensify the efforts for the international conference on the two-state solution. So that is the plan here in New York. And of course, it is complemented with efforts of our colleagues in Geneva, in the Human Rights Council, and in the different agencies. This is a political offensive. You, the journalists, are a very important dimension of this plan, because it is our duty to share with you the details of what we are doing, and it is also our duty to respond to your questions, so that to have more clarity as to what we are doing in each of these stages, so that you can explain it to the millions that you cater to. You write to them in your media, or you tell them the stories in the television stations that you have. And you have a responsibility to, among other things, to find ways to go to Gaza. I invite each and every one of you to go to the Gaza Strip. There is a story to be told about the criminality of what is happening to our people in the Gaza Strip. You have an obligation, a duty, to add your efforts not only to cover the news, but to be a player, to go in any possible way as independent journalists, to go to all corners of the Gaza Strip, to tell the story of the crime that is undertaken against the Palestinian people. And if you do that, and you should do that, you will be contributing to exposing those who are committing these crimes against the Palestinian people. And also, you will be contributing to hold those criminals to account and to advance the cause of justice through accountability. So we are all in this thing together. Now, with regard to the plan, how it is unfolding, we decided in the Arab group, through our representative Algeria, of course with the help of the other representatives, Somalia, that we do not accept complacency in the Security Council. The Security Council has a responsibility to maintain international peace and security. And what is happening in Gaza is a threat against international peace and security. So the Security Council has a responsibility to act. Therefore, the meetings that we had last week and the week before, the international community, the Secretary General, the senior officials of the United Nations, led by Mr. Fletcher and others, and the experts that we brought, especially the doctor from San Francisco, who was in Gaza, who shared with the Security Council the details of the crimes in the medical field, were contributions to maximize the pressure in the Security Council to act, not to remain paralyzed. So as a result of all these efforts, things started to move in the Security Council, reached the level of a draft resolution, adopted and approved by the E10, the majority, the elected members in the Security Council, and they engaged other members of the Council. My understanding that a member of the E10 took upon itself to engage one country, permanent member, trying to convince them to have a humanitarian resolution, to stop the crime, to allow for humanitarian assistance. In this connection, we support the position of the UN articulated by the SG and Mr. Fletcher that there is no mechanism that can address the needs of the Palestinian people except the UN mechanisms, including UNRWA, which has 400 stations in the Gaza Strip to distribute to the people in the Gaza Strip, not the 3, 4, or 5 stations that were fictitiously established to provide some assistance. And you saw the horrors of when thousands, maybe tens of thousands of Palestinian civilians in the Gaza Strip trying to go to these places, being sniped at, assassinated, terrified, about 1 kilometer away from one of the stations, according to some of your media colleagues who have reported, including a representative of CNN. I was listening to him yesterday reporting from Tel Aviv. He said that there were confirmed reports from humanitarians and others that kilometers away from the place of reaching the humanitarian distribution center, according to the mechanism put in place, not the UN mechanism. And then there were gunned down some Palestinians through snipers and other methods of killing them to horrify them so that they do not even reach this mechanism that they put in place for humanitarian assistance. So the mechanism of the UN is the solid one, is the one that is supported almost by everyone, the Arabs, the Muslims, the Europeans, everyone, because why do you try to find a mechanism when the existing mechanism is a solid one, tested one, proved itself, they have the experience, they have the personnel, they know how to reach the people in all corners of the Gaza Strip and provide humanitarian assistance to them. So we will know in the Security Council at 12 o'clock exactly what the E10 will proceed to do with the humanitarian draft resolution. And now the Security Council has to act, and the threat or the fear of not succeeding should not deter the Security Council from carrying its responsibility. But of course, the Security Council speaks for itself. We are in contact with all those who are genuinely concerned and outraged. It was not only the Palestinian people who are outraged, as I expressed in my last statement in the Security Council, but I can objectively say the great majority of humanity and nation states are outraged of what is really going on in Gaza, and they want to do something. So that's why we see some elevation and changes of positions from big important countries in Europe and beyond, such as France, UK, and Canada. Their statement 10 days ago was very clear, very powerful, and very different than previous positions that they have articulated on this issue. That is significant. That is a beginning of turning the corner, and we hope to see more of that. And it is not Israel that will decide the future of the people in the Middle East, especially the Palestinian people. It is us. We, the people, will determine our own future with the support and the help of the great majority of nations. So we will see what happened in the Security Council. In the General Assembly, we are grateful for Spain's initiative to go to the General Assembly with a humanitarian resolution. That position was adopted at the highest level in Spain. led by the Prime Minister. We appreciate that, and we are grateful for the effort of Spain, which last year took the lead among European countries to recognize the state of Palestine. We've been working with them. The draft resolution is almost ready, humanitarian one. They might make the decision to circulate it for reaction of countries today or very soon, and to finish the consultation and try to table it before the end of this week in order to be able to give to the Secretariat of the General Assembly the 4 working days before acting on the resolution, which means the plan is to try to act on it by the end of next week. So the Security Council is acting. The General Assembly is acting. Geneva is acting. Now, the international conference. Of course, several meetings took place. I am sure that you covered a number of them in preparation for this conference. What has been accomplished so far is a concept note. It's a very clear, strong, effective concept note of what this conference wants to accomplish. And also the 8 roundtables were also established. The definition of the role of each of these roundtables has been articulated as well. The leadership, the co-chairs of these roundtables also has been decided. The majority of them are from European countries for obvious reasons, and Arab countries for obvious reasons, without excluding regions. For example, in North and South America, Canada is in the leadership loop. Mexico is in the leadership loop. Brazil is. In Africa, Senegal is, in addition, of course, to Egypt. In Asia, we have Japan in the leadership role, and we have Indonesia, in addition to the Europeans and the Arabs. So all corners of the globe are there. These are powerful countries. If the 19 leaders, the 2 co-chairs and the co-chairs of the 8 roundtable, to commit to implement what they called for in the concept paper, we expect from them to commit and to declare before the conference and during the conference to a number of practical steps, such as for those who have not recognized the state of Palestine to do so, or those countries with financial capabilities to commit substantial amount of money in order to strengthen the institutions of the state of Palestine in the years to come, in a concrete way, in a financial way, supporting programs so that this state of Palestine to become stronger and stronger in the face of this ruthless occupation. And if they also take steps, as was adopted in a Madrid conference on the 25th, to stop sending weapons to Israel to kill Palestinian children. And as Chile did just the other day, to sever any relationship with the settlements and the settlers, and also to take measures in order to shorten the life of this illegal occupation, to end it and to allow for the 2-state solution to become reality. So all these things are unfolding. More preparation is taking place. We expect large number of high officials to attend, besides ministers, some heads of states and governments, to also participate with us. We are determined that this conference is not going to be like any other conference. It is going to be a turning point in the process of ending this illegal occupation, as articulated in the historic advisory opinion of the ICJ, which said, because this occupation is denying the Palestinian people the right to self-determination, putting in place a system of discrimination, apartheid, illegally stealing our land and building illegal settlements and settlers, which need to be broken and eliminated according to the ruling of the ICJ, and also that is illegally annexing land of the Palestinian people. Because of all these things, the ICJ said that this occupation is illegal and it has to be terminated as quickly as possible, and asked the General Assembly to adopt modalities to do so. The General Assembly adopted a resolution giving the mandate to this international conference. Occupation, this illegal occupation, to end in 1 year, and also to convene this conference under the co-chairmanship of Saudi Arabia and France, and to be action-oriented conference, meaning commit to practical things. Don't keep relying, I vote with you in the Security Council and in the General Assembly, and my responsibility is over. No. What needs to be done in your capacity as a third party, as a state, what are you going to do to end this illegal occupation? So we will continue working with all of them. We will continue informing you, and we expect you to inform your audience and your followers and to educate them about all these things that are happening there. And we all together need to intensify our efforts to put an end to this genocide, to have a ceasefire, and to begin the process of the reconstruction of Gaza, and to have a successful international conference for the implementation of the two-state solution, and also to be a stage to be followed with structures to continue the process until we accomplish this global consensus of ending this illegal occupation and having the freedom and independence of the state of Palestine with East Jerusalem as its capital, so that we can say the two-state solution would become a reality. This is the background, okay? If you have questions, by all means. Yes, ma'am.
Ambassador, just stand up quick. I broke the mic. So, according to sources, the country that you mentioned, the permanent council member, which is the US, is not engaging on the draft resolution, as far as what we know. So you're saying at 12 we'll know if the council is going to go ahead and vote on it, even if the US is not engaging on that draft resolution?
I said that there was a country from among the E10 took upon itself to engage the country that you referred to, the permanent member. And we will find out what the report from that member of the E10, which took upon itself to engage, not on behalf of the 10, but in its own national capacity, which we appreciate their efforts. We need to find a way for the Security Council to adopt a position regarding humanitarian help to our people in the Gaza Strip through the mechanisms of the United Nations and the international humanitarians who are present in the Gaza Strip. So we will see what the report will be, and we will see what the E10 will decide to do. I am sure that the E10 will share with you what their plans are. But I should not jump the gun and speak on their behalf, because I don't. But I'm sharing with you the development as they are unfolding. Still, you know, we will not leave a stone unturned in order to bring an end to this vicious attack against our people in the Gaza Strip. We need immediate and sustainable ceasefire. and we need humanitarian assistance to scale to reach all Palestinian people in all corners of the Gaza Strip through existing mechanisms.
Ambassador Farnoosh Amiri with AP. Can you tell us if any of those 40 or so countries that have yet to recognize the state of Palestine have done so ahead of the conference? Have you gotten any assurances from them that they plan to make announcements?
We will find out soon, but let me just tell you, if you are a leader in the preparation of this conference, and if you are advocating in the concept paper for countries to take practical steps to be action-oriented